to today's episode of Early Days, brought to you by Prowse Chowne. Joining us today is Joe Ammar, the president and CEO of River City Events, a visionary leader whose passion for creating memorable events has shaped the landscape of event planning in Edmonton for sure. With over 3 decades of industry experience, Joe has spearheaded the growth of his business from a modest startup to a major player in the event space. Today, he's here to share some of his insights on his journey and the challenges he's overcome and his aspirations for the future of River City Events. Joe, welcome to Early Days.
We are grateful to be here.
You know, what inspired you to even start River City Events?
Well, I guess it starts way back from my early days when I was working, or not even working, probably eating all the foods in the grocery store with my dad when I would watch him and deal with customers. So he had the small little grocery store on the north side of Edmonton, and I would see all these people come in and he would have these long drawn out conversations, but you could just tell he was just super engaged and always forthcoming and always very generous with how he handled himself. And so, you know, you'd get somebody coming in from the community to buy some groceries, and sometimes they had money, sometimes they didn't. So he'd always have this little bill of a tab running that he would always write down. But in the meantime, he would have a cigarette with him. And then if they had a child that came in, he would let the child run in the store and grab whatever kind of licorice or chocolate bars and stuff they want. So I would watch that. And I think, man, my dad is so well connected and so, so nice. And I just want to be like my dad. So I just grew up, seeing that sort of with business or every job that I worked. I always felt, you know what, like I might be able to do this on my own. So I did in 2007.
So did you ever aspiration of taking over the store from your dad, or?
No, unfortunately, my dad, the whole story with River City is that my dad had passed away in 87. So we had started to, I have 3 other siblings. So all of us had to work 3 jobs. Or at least 3 jobs. I had 3 jobs. So I had worked as a telephone solicitor. I worked at delivering papers, and I worked at a car wash. So what I took from those jobs is obviously how to deal with customers through the car wash and the paperwork and how you'd have to deal with money. And then the telephone soliciting was kind of like cold calling. So you'd have to reach out to these people and try to sell them back then it was the Edmonton Sun. And then working at the paper route was just to handle money and deal with papers and being consistent. So with those 3 attributes, I basically, kind of built it into to a business, I guess, over the last 18 years.
How did you figure there was a niche for that type of business, an event planning or a rental business in Edmonton?
So I'd worked with a competitor now, but a company in the city here for 20 years, and I basically had started with them in high school when it was work experience for $1 an hour. So here I'm working $1 an hour, unloading trucks of tables and heavy equipment and chairs and stuff like that. And I remember back then the Who and Rolling Stones and all the major concerts that would come to Vancouver, we would have the chairs that we would ship to them. So I was always the one kind of cleaning them and doing all this extra work. So I'd worked for 20 years with that company, and throughout those 20 years, really burnt out. My dad had passed away the first year I was there, so I kind of remember sitting crying in the warehouse, and the owner walking up to me and saying, "You okay?" And I finally told him the story that my dad had passed away. He goes, "Don't worry, kid, stick with me, we'll go far." So I toughed it out for 20 years and did everything he asked me to do in those 20 years. But over those 20 years, I really worked very hard emotionally, and it got to a point where I realized that I needed to get out. Like I needed to really start something else because I felt like I was just spinning a wheel. I was a hamster in this wheel that never really changed. Every day was just physically demanding. So when I left in 2007, I was actually literally laying in bed, and I got a phone call from a potential client saying, "Look, you helped us with a casino opening. Can you help us with this new one out in Whitecourt?" And I basically said, "Well, I don't have any money. I don't have any equipment. I'm sorry, I can't help you." And so I literally hung up and didn't think anything of it. And I got another call back 10 minutes later saying, "Look, I really need your help. You helped us with this previous event. Can you help us with this other one?" I said, "Well, I'm not doing it anymore." She said, "Joe, I know you can do it. Can you help me?" And I heard those words, "Can you help me?" I thought, I have to do this. So I just put caution to the wind, and the rest is history. So, yeah.
So you start out when you're putting a business together. This is the first time you've really done this. You
Correct.
work for other people and things. So what did you learn as you're just starting this business up?
Oh boy, so I played hockey for about 25 years, and the reason I didn't succeed at hockey is because I was never coached properly. So here I'm in this business. Didn't go to high school, didn't finish high school, didn't get the secondary education. So I didn't feel like I was coached in business either. So really a lot of this was trial and error. I really had to learn how to do things, and I had really great people around me that I could ask, and it was one of those things where you'd start one thing and then you'd learn from it. If you made a mistake, you'd learn from it, and you just continue on and on.
Because when you're providing event rentals, there's a celebration piece to it usually, right? So they're expectant of something from you, and you've got to deliver. But you're also probably, I have a feeling, learning from your dad in the store that you're super serving that client.
You're 100% right. Yeah. So the good thing about our industry is, 50% of it is that it's a happy, people are wanting something from you because it's for a celebratory event of some sort. But the other 50% is coming through and making sure that you're, on time and you're providing the right products and what they need. So for me, I did feel that having consistency with, like I said, delivering the papers to, dealing with the customers from the paper route to obviously, making sure that you're providing a product that they're happy with through the telephone soliciting. So it kind of worked full circle, and it really made me into, I guess, who I am today.
As you started this business, so now you have River City Events, but now you have an acquisition. I remember when you bought Big Top Tent Rentals.
Right. Yeah, so here we are, a company, started in 2007, 10 years passes and we are growing. And at one point I had I felt that as a company, we were kind of third on the list in the city. And the only way we were going to get ahead is either with a whole bunch of money, which I didn't have, or acquire a partner, or potentially have a sell off everything, or acquire a business. And sure enough, I reached out to the owner of Big Top Tent Rentals at the time, and he was interested in selling, and we really basically just acquired their company, kept all their staff because we felt that their staff were phenomenal, and they had the same morals and attributes that our company had at the time, and we just kind of grew into one big company that provides tenting now. So we were a company that provided all the party rentals, just not the tenting. So it just worked out that now we can provide all the tents, tables, chairs, and basically everything you need underneath a tent.
It's probably a great lesson to any entrepreneur that you're sitting there and you're looking, okay, I think I'm number 3 in the city. So it's a real honest assessment, which I think you should always do when you have a business, right? And then, okay, well, what are we going to do about it?
Correct. Yeah. And for me, it was never about being, having the most work, or I just wanted to be happy at what I did, because I felt like the previous company I worked for after 20 years, I wasn't happy anymore. I felt like I was just not getting ahead in life and in general personally. It's all about true, you need to be personally happy inside. And by owning your own company, I really did feel that I was gaining some respect to myself and to the general public. And truly acquiring another company too teaches you a lot about who you are and maybe who they are, and how you can actually really, with hard work and a lot of determination, you'll get. They say work hard and good things come to those who do that, and that's really kind of what has built our company today.
And probably you feeling stagnant in the previous job that you had been at for 20 years. Are you very cognizant of that too with your team now, that you don't want someone to be in that position that you felt you were in?
That's 100% right. So for me, grateful for the team that's with us. Our team is built on our morals, and so we care, we are honest and accountable. We really do want to make sure that everybody comes to work feeling happy and enjoys what they do. And I always said, if I come to work ever and I didn't feel that I was happy to be here, I wouldn't want to be there. So I really do put an emphasis with our staff, and because it is like a family, to make sure that everyone enjoys what they do. And if they don't, we're like I said, an open door employer, that we really do want to make sure that they're being fulfilled, and really giving them what they need and what they want to succeed, because we always do feel that our employees are number one and our clients are number two. If your employees aren't happy, your clients aren't going to be.
So what do you do? What are some key things that you do for your staff that other businesses could maybe do a takeaway to keep staff happy?
Well, we obviously, in the events business, we've got all the fun equipment, and we try to celebrate every month. So we'll have a luncheon, or we'll have a donut day. But a lot of times we'll have popcorn machines. We'll rent out our barbecues or snow cone machines and cotton candy machines, and typically that stuff will come back after being used by a customer, and there'll be some extra product there. So we'll actually make it all so that the staff can all enjoy it and try it, because it's true that they are cleaning them and getting them ready and packing them for other customers. They're thinking, oh geez, I would like to try some cotton candy. So we'll always try to make sure that we're celebrating our staff, not just the annual events, but daily and monthly.
In the hiring process, what do you look for? I guess it probably depends what they're doing within the company, but is there a certain type of personality that you're looking for, or is there something you know in your gut?
Yeah, we don't necessarily hire on merit, where that staff member needs to have a bunch of experience. If they're just hardworking and have initiative, and they can show up to work on time, those are really important attributes. The other 50%, we can train them on what to do and how we do it. But it's true, our team is, I truly believe, and I know that I think a lot of entrepreneurs might say it, or business owners, but we do have the best staff ever in our, not just in our industry, but I believe like in any industry. We truly believe that we are very lucky and fortunate to have the people working for us.
One thing I've got to know about doing all of these podcasts for Prowse Chowne is a key element too, with all the people I've interviewed, is philanthropy, and you're no different. You're one to give back always. Well,
it is true. The good thing about our business is it connects with a lot of different industries, and nonprofit is a lot of organizations that need support. So they'll come to us because they're planning an event, because they're trying to raise money. Well, they're using our product to obviously fulfill their need, and us being there in the industry to provide them with that product at, let's say, a reduced rate or a sponsorship is kind of a win-win. And truly, we do support hundreds of charities in this city, and we continue to do so because, again, growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. My dad passed away. We had to work 3 jobs. I understand how hard it is to make a dollar, and I truly believe that giving back is, if you're not giving back, what are you doing? You've got a personal gain, which is great in life, but I do want to have a point in my life where I feel like I was being fulfilled, and I believe giving back is really truly key to our success.
No, I agree with it. Do you know a question I was going to ask too about the new location? That's amazing. So so now you've expanded. You got Big Top Tech Rentals, you got River City, and now you've got this beautiful location.
Yeah, and I see, as an entrepreneur, I said earlier that I was never coached, and there's no playbook to tell you how to run a business and all that kind of stuff. So when we bought Big Top, they were in the West End, we were downtown. We felt, okay, we're just going to run a West End business and a downtown business. Well, we quickly learned that we weren't efficient, and things were starting to cost more money to have running 2 operations. So we seeked out to finding a building, and at the time we were business was going. We moved downtown from Short Park, so we started in Short Park for 5 years, moved downtown for 6 years, and then found a building on the south side in 2018. So now we moved both businesses into the south side location, and here we are under one roof, which kept us way more efficient. The beauty of our building now is we've got a drive-through, which we don't know any company in our industry across North America that has a drive-through. So it's basically sit in your car, we'll offer you a bottle of water, offer you a piece of chocolate, offer you a thank you card, load you up, and then just before you leave with your rentals, we'll actually offer to wash your vehicle. So it's adding that incentive and that just little bit of care and attention to our clients and to showing how grateful we are. And the good thing about that, it's actually got us to be the number one highest Google reviewed party rental company in North America. So we're pretty proud of that.
And I think I was at River City Events, so you just expand, you got this beautiful location, and 2 years later, COVID hits.
Yeah.
And you're in the event business.
Yeah.
Guess what was not happening?
Yeah, we weren't doing this, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah, we weren't doing this. So again, another opportunity to learn about who you are as a person and as a business owner and as a human. And truly, it was a pretty emotional time. Emotional, mentally, physically. Just really a time where I guess again, I'll hopefully never I'll ever go through something like that again. And you get to know who your friends are pretty quick at that time. And truthfully, one day I'm at a conference at the empty convention center, and the next day I'm letting 85 people go, and that was the true point of the emotional side. So sorry.
No, I can only imagine.
Sorry. So think, hey, don't worry, we'll be back in 30 days. We'll be back in 60 days. Well, as you know, our company really didn't resurface for another 18 months after that. And truthfully, to this day, there's a few key clients that, I definitely, I'm indebted to because they were there to support us during that time. Excuse me, sorry. And some of them were the charities. So that the charities basically that needed to have an event, and we were there to support them. And obviously, the social distancing thing came to play. So some of the benefit of having a wide range of products, crowd barriers and just fencing and any way to kind of prevent people from gathering in a smaller pattern, kind of helped us start the process. But then we had large corporations that needed to, have 5,000 staff enter through their refinery. So they would need our services to, build a tent, build some crowd barriers to kind of get people through through a tent, get tested, and then get put on a bus and transported into the refinery. So those are the start of the turnaround. And, that was 2020 to 2021 to 2022, that's when we started seeing things come around. So just grateful because we had some staff that actually worked for free. They're like, you know what, Joe, you've always been good to me. What do you need? And they truly did support me in my days. And that's why I got a little bit emotional because I feel like here's me that, doesn't really have any strong education behind me, but just was always trying to be good to people. And in the end, what I proved is that if you're good to people, people will be good to you, and that's what happened. So realistically, that turnaround, and people would call me all the time and say, "Are you okay? Is everything you need?" And truly, I couldn't do anything anyway. I'm sitting at home some days, and some days I'm at work, but I would go to work and I wouldn't even turn the lights on because I didn't know if that was the day that the bank was going to come and repossess everything, or was it the day that I would get a phone call from somebody saying, "Hey, I need a whole bunch of stuff." And so every day was like that Groundhog Day that they say. So yeah, feeling grateful and obviously very, just very blessed to have good people with me as far as my staff and clients. And I don't like to say I'd like to say we, because it wasn't me that did it all by myself. There was people that supported and built us back up to where we are. So very grateful.
One of the questions I always ask is, talk about some of your toughest times in business. And I would think COVID would have to be it for a special event rental company like yourself.
Yeah,
like River City.
Yeah, that it truly was. And again, I've never had been anything through that, but knowing that we had a really good, strong start. Like the year of 2018 was Red Bull. There was a Grey Cup in the city. There was lots going on, like FIFA. There's so much happening in the city. So hence why we bought the building, thinking, things are only going to go up. And then, obviously quickly learning within a couple of years, that COVID hit. And actually my COVID kind of started in 2019, because that was the year my girlfriend, we found out she needed brain surgery. So, so 18 you're on a high, 2019 you kind of get hit personally, and you start thinking health is more important than any type of business transaction. And then you get 2020 and you're really knocked out, like the whole world is knocked out. So really had some time to think during those quiet days of where I want to be and who I want to be and who I want to surround myself. So now that we're back and operating and things are good again, I want to make sure that I'm thankful and I give kudos to the people that helped us support us through those tough times.
So right now, would you say your business is good, or is it great? Do you really see a uptick?
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, it's great. As an entrepreneur, there's no ceiling. You're always wanting more and more and more. But the fact that we're able to accommodate requests within short timelines and turnaround times, and not have to revert to saying no, or at least not being able to provide a service, to me tells me that we're still learning and growing. Our company's 18 years old this year, so we're still building as we go. So I still believe 18 years is not a long time, but I do feel that we're in a good spot, and there's a lot of good things coming to the city. The city of Edmonton does get a lot of kudos for bringing in some of these large events in that support companies like us. And again, we're still a small entrepreneur, but we'd like to do big things.
What's the big hairy goal right now? What do you see in the future?
Oh boy, big hairy goal is just. We run EOS, so an entrepreneur operating system. With that, enables me to be a visionary. If I could stay as the visionary and have an integrator that runs the kind of company where I'm basically just setting the goals, and the team is basically getting together to kind of make those goals happen. That's truly what I want to do, is to stay being up to date on what's happening in the city, but also having that work-life balance. Because I truly believe work-life balance is what taught me during the pandemic, that you needed to make sure that you gotta work hard, but you also gotta play hard, and you also gotta remember who you are and where you came from. And
still help out your community.
And still provide for the community, 100%. That's exactly right.
Wow. This has been amazing. Yeah. Well, I'm glad things are back, and it's been such a pleasure talking with you today. I can feel your kindness.
Well, Jackie, it was an absolute pleasure, and I know we know each other through other circles, so this is an honor for me.
Early Days by Prowse Chowne. Remember that entrepreneurship is a path filled, as you heard, with learning and growth and challenges. And Prowse Chowne is always there to help you through these, be it intellectual property, navigating employment law, whatever you need for success, they can help you out. Thanks again, Joe.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
This series is proudly produced by the team at Road 55. Road 55 creates content that connects. For more information, visit our website at road55.ca.